Follow me. Watch your head as you come in here. Bend over. I'll eat when I'm hungry, I'll drink when I'm dry. But if moonshine don't kill me, I'll live till I die. This place has always been known as a place between two worlds. Our world and that of the spirits. A liminal place where the line between the two is blurred. Where things can wander, cross over, or be trapped. Not quite here nor there. A purgatory where lost souls may still be present. Where ghosts of this ruin's past may still be trying to find a way out. Being back here makes me feel like I am being haunted by ghosts of my own past. Past loves, friends, things that I've done that I shouldn't have, and other things I probably should have done, but failed to do. Not unlike those you'll meet tonight. Souls haunted and tormented by their own pasts, their own dark urges, their own uncertainty and struggles. It's time to find out who you will meet first. Choose a card, Chris.
Jack of Diamonds.
The gambler, a risk taker, a chancer. But has his luck finally run out? Follow me. Watch your head as you come in here. Come in. Come in. I'll ask you to read this out for us. That's okay.
A dark, stormy night, a stranger comes to the door of the lodge looking for shelter from the rain outside. He is invited in and joins a game of cards with the members of the Hellfire Club. One of the men fumbles and drops his cards. As he bends down to pick them up, he glances into the table and sees a cloven hoof. The man recoils in terror as he realises that his opponent is the devil himself. The devil, on being discovered, rose from the table and burst into a ball of flame that shot up and cut out through the ceiling.
Do as thou wilt. It's our club's motto. It's the mantra that the people who come here live by. What does it mean? Well, I mean, it depends entirely on each individual. I mean, to most, it's simply an excuse to act in any way you wish. Drinking, gambling, hoarding, all manner of debauchery, it all goes on inside these walls. See, it's a place to let loose. Give in to your more primal instincts. Sounds fun, doesn't it? Oh, and it can be. It can be. But that's not all that goes on here. No, see, there are those whose innermost desires extend far beyond a few too many drinks and a game of cards. No, they take this motto as a challenge to the big man himself. A rebellion against the countless rules that, as they see it, they have been subjected to by his almighty judgment. No, they'd be bigger fans of a less pious gentleman, to put it lightly. The Dark Lord, Lucifer, Satan, the devil himself. Now, people that follow this path, they tend to be struggling with darker parts of themselves. Deep inside them, longings and urges that are hungry for an outlet, for a purpose, for the way out. Dark dealings have gone on inside this building. Things too dark to speak of. For the most part, I try to avoid the black masses, the rituals, the sacrifices. Stick to the cards. But, see, you can't avoid it all entirely, can you? No, see, the stories and the cultures, they're deeply ingrained into this place, this club. For the most part. I mean, I don't mind a lot of it. You know, the toasts, the cloak and horns, the seat left free for your man. There are those in the club who claim to have met him before, you know. They say they sat with him right in this room. I'm sure you're all familiar with the story of the stranger who came in out of the storm. A stranger who was really no stranger at all. I mean, it's been told countless times before, always slightly different, but the main aspects remain the same. A dark, rough night. An unknown traveller enters to take shelter. He's seated and begins to play cards with his hosts. A slip, a drop card, and the reveal of cloven hooves beneath the table where the stranger's legs should be. The men, they recoil in terror as the Dark Lord, their Dark Lord, rises from the table and vanishes through a hole in the ceiling in a burst of red flame, leaving nothing but horror and scorch marks in his wake. I mean, it's not a bad story, to be fair. Now, those that are yet to have been blessed by a chance meeting with him, they wish to be so deeply. And others still, they act like they want to meet him, but this is all a facade. I mean, they talk a big game, and they play along with the darker aspects of this little organisation, but really, I mean, they just come here to get drunk and play cards away from the public eye. And me? I mean, I'm somewhere in between, I suppose. The stories of them, they do intrigue me, but like, I've got a bit of common sense. Or at least a bit of luck. No, I haven't crossed paths with them yet. To be perfectly honest with you, I'm okay with that. It's a risk I would rather not take. But by knowing about these stories, believing in them, even partly, it means we all take a chance when we climb that hill. The same hill you've just climbed. See, you've all taken that chance, that risk, that gamble. And for what? To win some money? Yeah, sure. To lose some? Or maybe you might lose a whole lot more than that. But you're seeing as these are here anyways, we might as well have a game. Any takers? Nobody? Any gamblers? Yourself? No. Look like a kindred spirit. Go on, take a seat. Higher or lower?
No.
Sure?
No.
Higher? Lower? Close one, pal. Higher or lower?
Lower.
Jesus. Higher or lower?
Higher.
You're bloody good at this one. You try something else? Did you play gin rummy?
I don't know.
I'll teach you. No bother. Now. Although, you know, I have been trying not to do this so much anymore. You know, the gambling, the card playing. I mean, I used to have all the luck in the world. I used to be unfazed by the risks and the dangers I took. But being here, spending so much time here around these people, it's taken its toll. It's made me feel tired, you know. Weirdy, like, not like me old self, not as strong, not as confident. Sometimes I feel like a ghost of him. Like an outline. None of the same contents. He's the one that's haunting me. I can see him as I'm talking to you now. An unknown traveller enters through that doorway to take shelter from a storm that's raging outside. And he sits opposite me, right there, where you are now. You know, there's something familiar about him. In an unsettling kind of way, his attitude, his demeanour, his energy. And then I realised, it's no stranger at all, it's this past version of myself. And he's smiling at me. Not in a friendly way, but smug. You know, like he's mocking me. With this air of superiority, like he thinks he's better than I am. And he pulls a deck of cards out of his pocket and deals, and now we're playing our own game. A game for my soul. And I look at the cards that I've been dealt, and I fear maybe they're not as good as the cards that I was dealt before, you know? Back when I was him. I remember the kings and the aces that I used to have up my sleeve, cards that I'm sure my adversary is holding now. I remember how they used to make me feel like I could deal with anything, no matter how bad it got, but now all I can do is sit here opposite this smug spectre and try to bluff my way through this next game, feeling inferior in the face of me former self. You see, he was never anxious or afraid. He never folded in the face of stress or pressure. No, he was confident, capable, and happy. And still, he's taken me for everything I've got with his smug smirk. I feel myself growing weaker as the chips on my side of the table start to dwindle, because he's winning round after round. He's almost growing stronger the more I wane. This image of who I was sitting opposite me. And I struggle to regain my composure as he fumbles and drops his cards, one slip in his perfect demeanour, and as I bend down to pick them up, I see it. His cards are no better than mine. If anything, they're probably worse. And so I glance beneath the table and I see that cloven foot. But it doesn't belong to Lucifer, no. It belongs to a different demon. The demon of nostalgia. And it dawns on me that this image that I see opposite me, it isn't accurate. You know, the cards that I was dealt today, they're no worse than the cards I was dealt before. I mean, I wasn't perfect. Okay? I wasn't better off or any better equipped to deal with what the world had to throw at me. No, I've just allowed nostalgia to warp my view of the past. To grow and corrode me from the inside out. Because the people here, they desire immortality. They want to be young and reckless forever. And that has corrupted me. And once I see through this impish image to the truth, well, that smug smile that disappears from my doppelganger's face, and he bursts into a ball of red flame and vanishes through a hole in the ceiling. But he doesn't leave me with a sense of horror. No, he leaves me with a sense of clarity. That wasn't the old me. Not really. That was just what I've allowed nostalgia to do to me. You know, to warp my view of how perfect things were. To worsen what I have in front of me now. And don't get me wrong, folks, you know, nostalgia, it can be a wonderful thing. Reminiscing on old and fond memories. But it can be dangerous. Manipulative. See, through a desire to look back on a happier past, or on the other side of the coin, to hope for something better in the future, the truth of things can be obscured. And we can miss the good that we have in front of us here and now. So I'm done playing this game. I am done letting the demons of longing and nostalgia grasp me and try to make me fold. I'm going to start taking every hand I'm dealt and face it, like I always have. Because we can't choose the cards we're given. It's just the luck of the draw. It's the way it's always been. It's never better or worse. It just is. It's about how we choose to play those cards. We bluff, we call, or we go all in. You know, I've spent long enough letting myself feel trapped in this place. Letting my fear and insecurities keep me stuck here. Being tempted to give in to that demon that lives inside me, but no more. No, it's time to leave this dark room. Do as thou wilt. And I will. I'll be better than this. Better than him. Better than I used to be. I will find a way out. And you should too.
Time to be living. Follow me and watch your head. I think we've all felt somewhat trapped in recent times, in between a happier past and a better future. And that's where the devils of longing and nostalgia can grasp us, play with us, try to make us fold, try to destroy us. Recently, I have felt there is a raging sea within me, not calm or serene waters, but tumultuous and unsettled. I feel that my mind is like a ship that has been cut loose from the harbour, set adrift, untethered, no direction home. Now and again, the waters subside, the sky can be seen, and a hope appears, a hope that this will last long enough for me to gain my bearings, to set course for what I want. This doesn't last long. No. The waves rise up again, and I am tossed back into the uncertainty, into the not knowing what I want, not knowing how to get it, not knowing the path. But I think I'm starting to understand that there'll always be storms we have to fight against. And I know these storms will form up ahead of me again. And like a starling journeying toward a dark expanse of cloud, I know that what lies ahead of me is daunting. But I'll try to strive on with joy, not fear in my heart. Joy at the unknown. Joy at the challenge. But how will you face your next challenge? Take a card for us.
King of Spades.
Book. A hell. A true rambler. Among other things. Follow me and try not to wander, as he has done all his life. Watch your step on the stairs. They're old and narrow. Since you read the last one, I don't mind reading this one bit.
The son of William, firm tackle ready, one of founding members of the Hellfire Club. Wilt became a prominent member in his own right, known for his incredible wagers and reckless attitude. One said to have played handball up against the railing of the wall injuries from a paradox in satanic rituals when he finally came face to face with the devil in an apparition. He led the country in fear.
Here we are, surrounded by darkness. Darkness can be comforting. The kind of darkness that you turn over in to be greeted by the warm embrace of a lover. The kind of darkness that envelops you as you turn out the light in your bedchamber before a peaceful sleep. But not this darkness. This thick, heavy darkness that you can almost feel the weight of around you. No. We can sense that bad things have happened in this darkness, in this room that we now share. As that all will share. Maybe a drink. Scalding. That's what we drink here. Whiskey mixed with butter. A potent solution to numb us. So that we can carry out dark deeds, as the more civilized would say. Do you ever feel that desire? To numb yourselves? Another pint, another drag. To lose yourselves? To gain a sense of escape from everything around you? Everything inside you, the devils in you that you're repressing, trapping. Ever feel it'd be better to just let it all out? See what happens? Go for it. I'll join you. You afraid? Afraid you'll wake up with regret tomorrow? Or is it a deeper fear? One that you dare not linger on for too long, lest you find it to be what you're truly worried about. A fear that you'll secretly be glad. Glad to destroy the things that you've worked so hard to build. Friendships, relationships, reputations. Glad to be rid of them. Rid of the weight of the responsibilities that came with them. It all became too much, so you're happy to be tearing it down and starting again. You know, we can only handle so much order before so long before we need the chaos again. I can see you craving it, just like me. I wager we're more alike than you would imagine. And I have won many wagers in my time. You know, I once bet $12,000 that I could ride my horse through my father's house, out the window to the street 32 feet below. It was glorious. Unfortunately, the horse did die from the fall. Worth it? Absolutely. I came out entirely unscathed, and I made my mark, didn't I? We only have limited time on this earth. Immortality, that's what I'm after. And I think I'm on my way to achieving it. What's the matter? You feel sorry for the beast? You think I'm selfish? Cruel, even? Is it really honorable to deny yourselves something that you desire? To avoid situations that might get you into trouble, just for the sake of what others might think of you? Or is it foolish? Life will take plenty of you. Watch you while you struggle. So what sense is there in denying yourself an opportunity for happiness, for joy, when one presents itself, all for the sake of what others might think of you? You've all thought about it. Can it last? We're told no. Told that a debaucherous life is wrong and unsustainable. But that's just a deterrent. Something to keep us afraid. Don't you ever feel like you're closer to just letting it all go than not? To just giving in to it all? That sense of tiredness, that itch in your heart? The feeling that the smallest push could break down those walls of defense around your soul, and then you're free, released. I'll be remembered. You. Who will remember you all? Go!
Ever feel like you can't let something go? No matter how much you want to. No matter how much you need to continue on with your life. No matter how you know it's bad for you to hold on to, it just won't leave you. Just won't cease. Ever feel that maybe that means it's something important? Something worth hanging on to? Or are you just going crazy? Or it's both? Ever feel like it feels a bit nice to go crazy? Sometimes I do. Sometimes. Are there things you're holding on to that you should let go? Time to keep moving. Only one card left. Only one choice left to make.
Clubs.
The Queen of Clubs. This poor farmer has strayed a very long way from home. Will she find her way back? And does she even want to? One last piece to read. Will you read it for us?
Curious farmer ventures to the lodge to try and find out what went inside at night. Members of the Hellfire Club found them and dragged them inside. They were forced to witness the dark rituals and horrific events that took place that night. It is said that the farmer was found wandering aimlessly on the hills the next day, deaf, dumb, and unable to remember their own name for the rest of their life.
Come with me.
Who goes there? Are you here to test me? Don't take me further. You're not the boss that brought me here. Come in, join me. My apologies for my rudeness. I mistook you for the members of this club. There's no need to fear me. Well, at least not yet. I may be the newest initiate to this place. That is, if I can survive whatever trials they have in store for me. I only wanted to see what went on here, to finally know what caused the screams that come from here at night. I didn't think I'd get caught, but before I knew it, they were surrounding me, laughing, grabbing me and binding me, dragging me in here. And then they left me to wait. To wait and listen to the noises below. The noises of them. The screams, the laughter, the raised voices, the pounding. They'll be back for me soon, but for now, I wait. And wonder, and I imagine what they're doing, what they'll do to me. Would you be so kind as to untie me? I won't do you any harm, and these bindings are starting to itch. Thank you ever so much. I don't know how much longer I could have lasted with those on. I had heard stories of this place. The dark rituals, the sacrifices in the name of Satan himself. They say that as part of their black masses, they capture and cage dozens of black cats. Each one is impaled on a spit and roasted above a fire, screaming and hissing until it perishes. After these offerings are complete, demonic spirits come in the form of warped black cats, and after 4 days of this death and torture, the Dark Lord himself would come in the form of a monstrous black cat with fiery eyes and bestow gifts upon his worshippers. I took all this to be exaggerated and nothing more than superstition. Until one night, I saw it myself. I woke from my bed to the sound of screeching of an animal in pain coming from this lodge. At first, I was paralyzed with fear, but then I was overcome with a deep desire to know what was going on. So I snuck out in darkness over the hills, and what I witnessed that night will stay with me forever. A creature wreathed in black flames burst through the doors of this lodge and disappeared into the forest. It was one of the cats that they had trapped. I could hear it screeching long after it had disappeared into the forest. Those noises still haunt me. But my curiosity about this place only grew from that night. Everyone I spoke to warned me to stay away, told me that it was dangerous to associate with such unnatural goings-ons. But no matter how I tried, I couldn't stay away. There's something about this place. Something dark. It draws you to it. It intrigues me, all of it. I felt myself grow this deep desire to know more. Why? I'm not really sure. But you felt it too. It's drawn all of you here as well. You can deny it, but I can see. I think I wanted to feel like I have a purpose in this life besides sowing seeds and feeding animals. The members of this club, they have a purpose, something that drives them, as dark as that may be. They believe they are fated to serve him, their dark lord. A part of me wants that. A sense of certainty over what I should do with my life. A moment of clarity where a sign from above or possibly below tells me exactly what I should do. That way I distance myself from any kind of responsibility in the matter if it all goes wrong. Right? Or better yet, stop being so conflicted with my choices that it paralyzes me. Let someone else choose for me. That's what I thought I'd find here tonight. A way to get rid myself of this uncertainty that has plagued me for so long. But now I think I may have made a mistake. I was so sure that that was what I needed, what would save me. I was so certain that that was the right choice. But now that uncertainty is back to torment me again. Uncertainty in the certainty that you thought you had found. It's always there. No matter how sure or certain you feel about something, it's still there. A layer of uncertainty, right in the cracks of your peace. Do you let this feeling grow? Making those cracks bigger and bigger until the strain it puts on you is too much, until it shatters any sense of stability that you did find? Or do you plaster over it? Replace the broken stones with stronger ones, hoping that this will cover your doubts, make them fade away, hoping that this choice of this plaster of optimism is the right force to use. But how do we know that this anxiety and worry isn't some kind of instinctive, primal self-defense mechanism? Something that we shouldn't push away or ignore? Is it keeping us safe? Or is it a kind of trick that your mind is playing on you? One that, if you heed or listen to, will only cause your destruction. Do we ever know? Or are we destined to be caught in between, stuck? This uncertainty surrounds me so often. Sometimes I feel like the only choice is to get comfortable with it. The ever-presence of it. The periods of time where stability and comfort are the norm are shrinking in the face of dominating and growing uncertainty. So maybe I need to stop fighting it. Stop trying to run from it through this sludge of worry. And instead, turn. Face it. Walk towards it. Let it take us. Engulf us. That's why I'm here tonight. This place has always terrified me. It signifies the unknown, the unknowable. But I'm done pretending to have any of the answers. It's time I let the uncertainty take me, become a part of me. Only then, in accepting that I don't know what will happen next, will I find any peace, in one form or another. We'll best be off with all of you. I don't think they'd take too kindly to me bringing along friends. Go on. Don't worry about me. I'll manage. Go on.
You see a mural of vibrant colours down a narrow laneway. A doorway, usually locked, now appears to be open. You want to walk through the small iron door, explore it, reach it, see the colours up close. But you're afraid. Afraid that there's no other side to get to. You second guess. You walk by. You change your mind. You steel yourself, and without warning you turn and walk through the doorway and towards the mural, towards the light, towards the colour. You reach it, and you're underwhelmed. It's just a wall. And beyond it, a dark tunnel leading nowhere. Disappointing. Not what your heart desired, needed. Dejected, you turn back. Back towards the doorway. Dejection turning to anger. Anger at yourself. Anger at the only option you have being returning to your life out there. You pass another lost soul, drawn in here by the same dark desires. Standing still, unsure what to do. Stuck between two worlds. You don't offer help. You're too consumed with your own problems, too self-conscious. You walk by. You leave them. As you get closer to the doorway, the noises from the world out there get louder. You see people walk by the entrance to this place, uninterested, oblivious. A gust of wind blows the small iron door shut with a bang. You are just out of reach, forced to watch it helplessly. When you finally get to the door, you see that it's locked. A single huff of amusement escapes from you. Your fear was right. Your initial instinct. You should have listened. Almost comical. Now you're stuck here, in the dark. No way back. Can you find a way to open that door again? Is that even what you want? Or do you want that door to be closed forever? Maybe you need to find a new path out. You have no more paths to follow. I do have one final card for each of you. A card that you will have to make the meaning of yourself. Follow me out of this place. Go and do as thou wilt. Be careful of the steps. You've made it through so much, you don't want to lose your hand.
Very well done.